All right, we will get started. Good afternoon, everybody, and hello and welcome to the three most common but important things people forget to do with their Substack, hosted by the Women's Health 365 Collective and featuring Christy Keller, my favorite Substack expert. I'm Shelby Tuddy, the founder of the Women's Health 365 Collective, and I'm excited you're here. The mission of the Women's Health 365 Collective is to support the exchange of women's health information across Substack and inspire women to learn about their health. I comb through our collective member Substacks looking for amazing articles to feature in our newsletter that goes to thousands of subscribers. If you write a Substack focused on women's health, it's key that you introduce yourself on our guest book so I can consider you to be a featured writer. Promotion of your Substack is part of our mission and is open to free and paid subscribers. I'll share the guest book link in the chat and will include it in the recording email. Today, we're privileged to spend time with best-selling Substack expert Christy Keller. I've been a huge fan of Christy's work since I started my first Substack in May of 2024. Christy helps fellow Substackers make the most of their time by unstacking all of the back-end chores that come along with writing on this platform. She's worked with over 100 writers at all stages of their Substack journey. I'm a paid subscriber to her newsletter, Unstack Substack. It's worth every penny, and for those running their Substack as a business, a subscription is a deductible business expense in the United States. I've also hired her to help me with a project in the past. Her creativity and Substack knowledge is outstanding. Christy will answer questions at the end, so please add them into the chat with the letter Q in front of them, or raise your hand to come on screen later. Without further delay, welcome, Christy. Let me give her the floor.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Shelby, for having me. This is wonderful. I don't think I've ever met you face to face. We've never Zoomed, have we?
No,
No.
we have not, but you
So,
have done tremendous work, and I look to you as the first person anytime I need any Substack help.
well, I am so happy to hear that, and I'm happy to see so many people showing up today. I guess we'll just jump right in. I'm going to close the chat. Shelby, I'll let you moderate that if necessary. And I will just jump in. So the top three things that a lot of Substackers ignore, not ignore, but like maybe miss, and they're actually important. The first one, I'm going to go in order of, I'll do the most important one last, the one that I think is the most important. So I would say that the first one is welcome emails. This one, it's amazing. It's actually kind of unreal how many Substackers I meet with to work with. And their welcome emails are just the Substack boilerplate default, what it came with. And your welcome email is your first opportunity, I think, to rope in new subscribers, let them know where you want them to go in your publication. There's lots of different places you can do that, like your about page and a welcome post, but the welcome email is the most important one because that's the first. So, um, do you mind if I share my screen, Shelby? It's easier for
Yeah,
me to.
absolutely. If I
Okay,
need to
it's
do
easy.
something on my end, let me know.
Okay, I will. I'm going to use, I have a little guinea pig publication called Dog Snobs. I don't really keep it up, but I use it to demonstrate a lot of things in workshops because it's here. So in your, I don't know if I need to show a welcome email, but I would like to because it's good to, I just want to, hold on one second here. Sorry, there's no quick way to get anywhere on Substack, just so that you know that. So if you are in your settings, and you just type in this little search box here, instead of having to scroll through everything, it takes you where you need to go faster. So we get email opportunities for free subscribers, paid subscribers, and then imported subscribers if you are bringing people to Substack from another mailing list that you might have. So the free one is the one that everyone's going to get because people will start. I'm going to say probably 99.9% of the time, they're going to start as a free subscriber. They're not going to join as paid immediately. So, in your free subscriber email, you get to tell them. I don't know if Dog Snobs is a really great example of a welcome email, but kind of. You can direct them to posts where you want them to go as soon as they subscribe. If you have a paid subscription option, in your welcome email to free subscribers, this is where you would highlight that and say, you can upgrade to paid. This is what you get with paid. It's a fantastic idea. And um, the Substack boilerplate welcome email is it's just like, hi, you're on the list. It's very basic. It doesn't give them any information at all. So it's really a wasted opportunity if you don't update them. Also, um, if you have some high performing posts, like you've got one or two superstar posts that have lots of engagement and lots of traction, you might want to put a link in your welcome email to that post. You might want to send some people there so that they can see what the hype is about. I don't know if they're total strangers coming to you, like they don't know you at all, they just randomly found you, then, like I said, the welcome email is the best place to highlight why they should subscribe or why they should stay. They've already subscribed, but why they should stay, why they might want to upgrade to a paid subscription. So I think welcome email, don't ignore it. It's amazing how many people do ignore it. The second one is your about page. That one, lots and lots of people. I'm going to share my screen again because there's a lot of, I'm going to use my Unstack Substack one. You have lots of room here to do. I think many people just put, welcome, this is about me, blah, blah, blah. But you can tell people about anything you want to on your about page. And I think it's great. I don't use it on this one, but it's great to include photos of yourself. Again, your top performing posts. I don't know, when I go to a Substack, I check the about page first just to see what the place is about, what the person is about, what their content is about. And if you've got some real superstar posts like these ones on mine, these are some of my highest engagement posts. Some of them have 200 or 300 likes. And so I want people to go to those. And also, some of these are paid posts. So if someone clicked on one of these links and went to a paid post that has 300 or 400 likes on it, they would be like, I want to know what's inside that post. So this is an opportunity to get a paid subscriber. So on your about page, this is on my other publication. I'll just show you this one because it has a lot more personality. On my about page for this one, I would go all out with imagery and fun if that's, if your publication is about that. But add some pictures of you. Tell people what's great about you and why you started this publication, why you're doing it, what you would love to provide to people through it. On this one, it is kind of a fun publication, so I have lots of pictures. I cover the topic of reinvention on this Substack. So I like to put here where I want people to go and who I am. So I encourage you to make your about page robust. Make it robust enough that people are curious. If you have a paywall, tell people what's behind it. And don't feel weird about repeating what was already in your welcome email, because a lot of people I don't think even read the welcome emails. If they do, that's great, but if they don't, your about page is the next best place. So tell them what's behind the paywall, what they get. Direct them to like this right here, big fat ideas. That's a tag that I have great business ideas that I put out. So if you want people to find things on your Substack, put it on your about page for sure. Mine's really long and robust. Like I said, you can provide as much information as you want. If it's engaging and entertaining, people won't click away from it. They'll go through the whole thing just to find out what you've got to offer. Um, the last one, and I think one of the most important things ever, is tags. People don't use tags until way far into their Substack journey. And then it's a big job to go back. A lot of people pay me to do it for them because it's a big job to go back to your beginnings and tag your individual posts. And the reason you want to tag your posts is because that's how we organize things on Substack. So if you think about tags on Substack are like categories on a traditional blog. So, um, and what I mean when I say you can organize things with tags, you can do your whole homepage. You can organize it with tags. So right here, Substack how to, that's a tag that I use on my posts that teach you how to do something on Substack. So I've got this whole grouping here on my front page full of anything tagged with Substack how to appears in this grouping. The next one, Substack growth. That's a tag as well. And I've tagged each individual post with that tag so that they will collect in this bucket on the front page. And so on and so forth. So you can arrange your home page according to these tags. Another great thing you can do with tags is you can put links to a tag in your navigation bar. I think this publication is a better example of that because I actually use some. So, okay, Jamaica made me do it. That is a tag that I'm using to write my memoir chapters of when I lived in Jamaica and was traveling Jamaica. So this tag, if you click on it, it goes to every single post that I've written that's tagged with that. So these are my chapters. So that's another great way that tags can be used to organize your Substack. So you can have your homepage set like this one. And would anyone like to see where you would put these tags and how you do this? Because this is an actual workshop I give that people have to pay for. So you guys are like really getting in on the good stuff here. Okay, so I
I think
saw,
that would be great because you could do an hour-long class just on tags. And I didn't start using
yeah,
tags until I was well into my Substack.
yes.
And I had to go back and re-tag things, and it took forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. And like I said, people have paid me to do that job for them, which is like one service I offer, but it's a big job if you've written your Substack for a year and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, I need tags. So, okay, so how to do it, I'm just going to shut this. If you go into your settings, actually, no, wait a sec. I'm going to go into a post. So if you go into create post, I'll just go into a sample draft here. Um, Here we go. Sorry, you're going to see lots of pictures of puppies here. So if you're in your post, how you're doing this is in every post setting, you have this list of tags. I think you're all probably aware that there's this list of tags. You can add what you want, and once you've added a tag, it stays in your drop down. You can choose whatever tags you want. Um, Done. Once the post is published, it's published with just that tag. The tag doesn't do anything until you do something with it. So now we're going to go to, um, sorry, I still get twisted around since they changed the whole dashboard on us. Branding. Okay, so if you go to that branding in the sidebar and then you click here on homepage, this is where you can change the entire layout of your homepage. So many people I see are still using their Substack, which is Substack default. You got the one top post and then a big running list at the bottom. But you can change that. So once you're in this homepage area here, header style is the layout, like the whole layout of your Substack. So I always use magazine because it gives you this nice middle post here that is big. So it's if you want to highlight it, you could pin this. And I always use this space as a welcome post. So if you pin it to your home page, it always stays in this spot. And then with the magazine layout, you get these four most recent posts around it. So those will be in chronological as you publish new posts, they move down. Um, if you were going to do a feature layout, this is what it would look like. So you'd get the big one across the top, and then I'll show you how to organize the bottom part. Um, Newspaper layout, similar to the magazine, except for on this side you have a list instead of the grid style. So you've got these. And you can set it to be your most popular, or you can just set it to recent posts. Newspaper media feature just gives you a really big one across the top. And then highlight. So this again would be your most recent or your pinned. And then you've got these ones here that on the side like that. So I like to keep magazine. And feel free to play around with things in this sidebar here because nothing stays until you hit save. So you're not going to ruin anything by playing around. None of this stays until you hit save. So I'm going to turn everything off here just so that you can see what Substack default is. It's this. It's just a running list at the bottom, and everybody's looks that way until. So if you have your tags all sorted out in your post settings, and then if you hit show top post, if you turn on top posts, it'll just give you this bar here of your 4 most popular posts. And Substack knows by engagement which your most popular posts are. So you can have that on or off. I like to leave it on. Now, if you want to organize based on tags, you would have to go to this part where it says advanced layouts and toggle that on. And so once that is on, I should have deleted all of these so you could, I'll delete them all. Remove, 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 just so you can see how I'm going to do it. This subscribe thing here, this is the gray bar, the elusive gray bar that you might see on some people's Substacks. It's not on everyone's. You have to turn it on. So to add that, let's pretend this wasn't here. You would go to add block and then you would just choose subscribe here and that will turn on this gray bar and then you can customize it however you like. Okay, so to do things with tags, if you don't add, once you're in this advanced layouts, if you don't add blocks, you're going to have nothing below here. You have to tell it what to do. So add block. If you want to use it, if you want the list option, I like to use grid because it's way more visual. It shows you the posts like this. So if you click on grid, so here we are, you can choose the number of rows, 1, 2, or 3. So that's these. You can choose if you want it recent posts or here. So you can see right here, if you select tags, you get a drop down list of all the tags that are in your dashboard and you can choose what you want to display here. So let's say I want to feature dog behavior. You just select it here and these are all the posts that are tagged with dog behavior. And then let's say for your next grouping, you would go back here, add block, go to grid or list, but I like grid. Go to grid again. You'll have to scroll down a bit. And the default is recent posts, but you can select this, select tags. And let's say I want adopt a dog to be the next grouping. There we go. So now that you can see my homepage taking shape. So I've got the magazine layout on top, the most popular. Then the gray subscribe bar, I've got my grouping of dog behavior posts. I've got my grouping of adopt a dog posts. And you can take it as far as you want. So I'll do one more just to drill it home. Grid and default is recent posts, so tags, and I'm gonna choose rescue dogs. How about that? So there we go. There's the next grouping of rescue dogs. And this one, I only have 6 posts tagged with that, so it doesn't actually fill up 2 full rows here. But if I did have more, it would show, you can either do 1 row like that, or 2 rows, or if I had that many posts, you could go 3 rows. And then again, none of this sticks until you hit the save button right here. So I'll hit save. And now if you hit done, and we'll go back to my home page and it shows exactly what we just did. So I've got my magazine layout, my most popular posts here. My gray subscribe bar, right now it only shows gift a subscription. That's because I'm the owner of this publication. But what displays on this gray bar depends what level of subscriber is looking at it. So yeah, here we go. I've got my dog behavior grouping, adopt a dog grouping, and rescue dog grouping, and nothing shows below that unless you add more. So that's why tags are important. And lots of people don't know that. Mutt Sense tools and tips, that's a tag. So you can use it as something in your navigation bar. I'll show you where to select that. So if you go into your dashboard and then settings, and if you just type in tag here, it takes you automatically to your list of tags. And this, by the way, you can delete tags too. If you decide you have way too many and you want to delete some, here's your list of tags. If you just click on the three dots, you can delete it. Um, I think a lot of people created tags in the beginning like they were hashtags, and then they realize, oh, that's not what they're for. So if you want to clean out your tag list, you can do it here. But also, when you saw in there where you can delete it or edit it, you can also add it to the navigation bar. So if you click add to navigation bar, it will appear in your navigation bar. So let's go to the home page. I can show you where that added. So dog DNA, I guess that's the one I use. So that just added to the navigation bar. And then when people click on that, all of your posts, I only have one, all of your posts with that tag would list on this page. So it's a really nice way to um, direct people. It's like blog categories, really. If you come from a traditional blogging world, back in the day, they used to have like drop-down menus on the side of a blog, and that was all your categories. Tags are the same way. They function the same way on Substack. So I'm going to remove that from my navigation bar because I don't want dog DNA there. But yeah, so that's tags. And again, like I was saying, that is probably one of the most underused, underestimated tools that we've got on Substack. And people don't know about it. And then when they find out about it, it's a big giant job to go back and fix it. So, and there's probably a bunch of you that just said, oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been using them. So now I have to go fix it. So that's how you use tags. Um, yeah, and I think that kind of is what I wanted to cover as the three most missed opportunities on Substack. It's everything on Substack is an opportunity to tell your readers where to go. So I guess that we have questions in the chat now.
So we did get a question about
Yeah.
best practices for using tags because you can all learn from my mistakes, but I'll let Christy answer that question.
Um, I would say, like, I probably just covered best practices. I wouldn't go too small. Think of them as content buckets, like a broader bucket. So, I mean, like I said, I've run into lots of clients who started Substack thinking that tags were like hashtags, like on social media. And so they've got like 400 hashtags in their drop down list, and they're absolutely useless because Hamish McKenzie, one of the co-founders of Substack, said it himself. Tags do not help with discoverability on Substack. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is for organizing and categorizing. So, yeah, think of them kind of as broader buckets. You don't have to go into micro topics with tags on Substack and start doing them right away.
And I can say that for the Women's Health 365 Collective, that's a great example for you to look at because I have sorted it by tags. I've used tags for probably 6 months, and Christy helped me get that gray box that she was talking about in her presentation because I saw it on somebody else and it looked so attractive. And you can make a custom message to encourage people to subscribe. And I'm like, Christy, how do I do this? And she walked me through that. And that was one of the benefits of being a paid subscriber is that I have access to her on a monthly basis to ask these types of questions. But my tags for the Women's Health 365 Collective are at the top, you'll notice that I have the directory pages. So if you're writing a women's health topic and you wanted to add it to our directory based on topic, go ahead and take a look through the directory pages. There's probably about 15 different topics, and you're welcome to do that at any time. So if you write an article about heart attacks, you can go to the coronary page and put your Substack in there. And then underneath that, I have featured articles. So those are the weekly articles that I publish. And then below that are collective news. So this webinar I posted in there. Another webinar I had done in May was also posted in there. And I keep it very separate on the homepage so that it catches your eye. I also have some home page links if you're looking at it on the web page. And honestly, I do believe that looking at Substacks on the web page is just so much cleaner. It brings out the personality of your Substack, all of your branding and your colors and everything that you've spent so much time considering and deciding upon really gets showcased when you're looking at it on the website. So when you look at the Women's Health 365 Collective Substack, I suggest looking at it from the website where you can see all of this detail that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is their view on the website and on mobile app on the app are different, which is unfortunate because the navigation bar on the app, you only get the four defaults like home, notes, archive, and about. So that's unfortunate. They could do better with the app, especially if you're customizing your navigation bar with all these wonderful tags. There was one other thing I wish I could remember someone else who has done it, but I want to show you something also with tags. You can make directories. There was a lady who did a really nice one. I just can't think of her name off the top of my head. I've written a post about it, but I want to show you a little trick too. To
And
find posts, did you know that if you type here, if you put in a little T, that stands for tag, and then another slash, if you type in any of your tags, you will come up with those posts. So I'm just going to say, let's say Substack how to. It auto-populated for me. If you do that, like the little T stands for tag, and then type in the tag, here's the whole page of everything tagged with Substack how to. So that's a little hack too. And then if you wanted to create a directory page on your Substack, if you copy paste this, you could, like on a custom page, actually, I've done it with Ask Anything here. In a way, you could create a directory that looks kind of like this and type anything you want here and then put the hyperlink into it. So if you wanted a directory page and this category would be Substack how to, you can type in Substack how to and put the hyperlink in, and then it would link to that page. These are my Ask Anything archives that I've made a custom page for, but you can do that uh, with any of your tags if you want to do that. So it's kind of a nice little hack. I really wish that I could remember the lady's name who had a really great directory. I just can't. I wrote a post about it, but I can't remember what it's called. Directory. I don't know if this is the one. I really want to show. No, this isn't the one. Sorry, I can't remember, but if you get the gist of what I'm saying, you can make really nice directories, catalogs, content catalog. Let's see if, is this the one? No, that's not the one. Sorry, guys, I can't remember off the top of my head. But again, I was just trying to demonstrate how a tag can really benefit you in organizing your Substack.
I was going to ask you, could you show us how to go back to old posts and add the tag afterwards?
Yes, I can do that. Super simple.
It is if you don't have 100 articles to go back.
There's that.
And
I think the easiest way to do it, if you do have 100 articles, is go here first, click on your archives, and then you just have a list of your whole archives. You can start right from the top if you want to. To go back into your post, you would just hit the three little dots and click on edit, and then you're inside your post, and then go to settings in the bottom right corner here. click on post settings, and then when you scroll up, here's your tags. So I've got this tagged as if I decided I want to add another tag. Here's a whole bunch of, there's my list of tags. So I would just select which one, and then it would stay. And then you have to click done, and then you will have to click update. If I had made any changes, this button would say update. Yeah, that's how you would go in after the fact. Um, and if you're tired of, if you do this and you have to do your whole post archive, one of the best ways to do it without losing this archive page and losing your spot on this page is right click on the title, open link in a new tab. So then that post opens up here. You can do this, click edit, the same thing I just showed you. And when you're done, you can shut that tab and you don't lose your spot. And this is how I do it for clients because I would lose my spot over and over and over again. So just right click on the title, open that link in a new tab and do what you need to do with that post. And then you don't ever lose your spot in your list of archives. That's how you go back and do it. It's a big job. It is a big job. All right. Is there more questions in the question?
Nope, but I will think people are thinking of questions to ask.
Okay.
You know, you're also welcome to come on screen. Um, as far as best practices for tags, really put some thought at the beginning as to what kind of tags you want and how it makes sense to use them. You can always go back and edit it, but it's a pain in the butt. So sit down, piece of paper or your computer, and really think through your tags and how you plan on using it, either with your existing articles or the articles that you plan to publish in the future. And just putting a little bit of time and energy in the beginning will help you go smoothly with your tagging process. And then it just becomes second nature. So now,
Mhm.
because I use the copy paste feature with articles in the Women's Health 365 Collective articles, it carries those tags over to the next post. So I don't even, it's like set it and forget it. I don't have to keep selecting it each time.
Oh, so you're duplicating, like creating a duplicate
Yeah.
post?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's super smart. If you know they're all going to be in the same tag, definitely. That's really smart to do.
You
Just
just had an article about using duplicate posts.
yes, I did.
That was like awesome.
And
Perfect.
you know, like I learned so much from Substackers too. It's not just me teaching people. It's I mean, when something is second nature to you, you don't think that it someone else might not have a clue, right? And so that's some of my posts, my how-to posts might seem rudimentary to some people, but to other people it's like, oh my God, it's like the heavens opened up. So um yeah, I don't assume that everybody knows anything, really. That's why my posts are really basic. I cover one bite-sized tip every week and leave it at that.
And then Substack goes and changes everything.
Trust me, I need my own virtual assistant now to go back and change all my archives because all my screenshots, I think a lot of my screenshots are kind of outdated now because they changed a lot of the dashboard things. So that's great. Live questions. And it doesn't have to be related to the three things that we talked about. You guys have me, so
I
ask
know,
questions.
yeah.
Yeah, this
See any
doesn't happen.
do you see any future releases, features, things coming out for Substack that we may not know about yet?
I am not privy to like they don't consult with anyone who's doing Substack work. So I think Christina God always gets those little tips, but I'm not really on their privilege list. I would say, I mean, there's a lot of things that we wish they would do that oh that I was just reading to make sure I wasn't missing a question. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think we wish they would implement that would make things better for us. Does anyone want me to cover anything profile wise? Does anyone have multiple Substacks that they're trying to figure out how to operate multiples? That question came up recently for me from someone else, so I thought, Daria, URL change. Um, Daria, do you mean if you change your entire like Substack name?
No, no, I wouldn't change my name, but when I signed up, I think I had before I was writing on Substack, I had put they made you like have a Substack to read Substacks or something. And so I have like this old one that's my name. And then so the one that they assigned, the one that I actually use is my is initials. And it's just not clear. So I would either like to change it to my name or to the name of my publication. And I think you can change it one time.
Yeah, you can.
Um, and then, but then I didn't know how that would affect all, because I'm in the boat of, I've been doing this for over a year and a half now, and I publish weekly. So I do have a huge job. And in fact, Claire Venus told me I should hire you to help me
Oh.
organize my
Yeah.
Substack, and I'm planning to do that. But so
Okay. Yeah, if you change your URL, Substack will take care of that for you for one time only. So be
right,
sure what
okay,
it is. I would have to look at yours specifically just to make sure I understand fully what you're talking about. But yeah, they'll do it for you. And I have done that with clients before that they have gone a totally different route with a name change and everything. And it's pretty flawless if you do it. If you do it through them, they'll change all of
okay,
your links so that you don't lose anything.
all right. Well, I'll
Yeah.
be in touch for sure.
Okay, I'll be here. Um, yeah, any more questions that are not related to what we've already talked about? Shoot. I put everybody on the spot now. I see them wheels are turning.
I asked my questions at Ask You Anything Day.
Yeah, those actually, and I'm not even trying to just plug a paid subscription. Those are really useful, and I wish more people would utilize it. You're like, Shelby, you're the Ask Anything Day superstar. She just keeps the whole list all month. I do Ask Anything Days once a month on the first Friday of every month, and it's for paid subscribers, and you can just throw out all of your Substack questions, and I answer them all in the post comments. And because it's only for paid subscribers. And so when I showed you that catalog page that I have of all the past Ask Anything days, you can refer back to any of those, see if your question's already been asked or answered. Um, yeah, I find it really useful, and that's where I learn more about what Substackers want to know. And it helps me to be able to write posts for what people want to know.
Yeah,
So
I
Shelby,
find it really helpful. And I keep a running list. So I have this event on my calendar, and anytime I think of something through the month, I just go into the event and then I put the question of what I want to ask Christy. And then when the day comes, I just take the list
she just bombs the
to
whole.
the put it in there. And I've been doing this since May of 2024, and every month I still have questions. It's like you think of an idea and you're like, "Oh, I wonder if I could do this," or you see somebody else doing something that you're like, "Oh, I love that idea. I want to do that." And then
Yeah.
but Christy always seems to figure it out or can point me in the right direction even when I don't know who it is that I'm trying to emulate. There was a writer and I'm like, this is what she's trying to do, and I can't remember her name. And like Christy just helped me out, like found the whole thing. It was like, is this what you're trying to do? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly
I
what.
wish all people would do that too because it's so useful for me and it's a great practice for everyone to get into as well. Um, Rather than always having to go and ask the chat bot who doesn't always know the answer to everything. Like somebody named him Chad the chat bot, but he's not flawless. Like the chat bot doesn't know a lot of things about what people are trying to do on Substack. So,
So,
yeah, I super appreciate how you do that, Shelby.
yeah, Christy, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yep.
So I have a question about, do you just do like backstage techie stuff, or do you like help sort out branding or continuity and
Yeah.
wording and things like that? Do you
I have a
help with?
branding package. That's probably my
Okay.
most popular thing. I my website, Shelby put my website somewhere in the comments, but on my website there's a list of things that I do. So I have a full setup package, which is like zero to launch, including branding and all the things. That's my biggest package. I do a branding package for sure. And that includes all the image placements. So your word mark, square logo, welcome page image, email banner, and then fancy divider lines that you see. Sometimes you see in people's posts, those really pretty color coded lines. So yeah, I have a branding package. I work by the hour. If you have random tasks, I feel like I have to go check my own website to remember what packages I have. Um,
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just wondering if you do other than just, some
yeah,
of the dashboard things.
yeah,
I'm kind of at that place where, I've been doing this since June of 2024, when was that?
four,
2023.
three. Okay.
Yeah. And so, Shelby was instrumental in pushing me into creating, some continuity in my branding and the about page and my
Mhm.
welcome letter and all of that stuff. And so, because she wanted to work with me, she was like, "Well, do you have this?" And I'm like, "No." "Well, do you have this?" "No." "Okay, let me get on that." So it really was really helpful, but at the same time, I feel like I just need another pair of eyes on it because
Mhm.
at some point I would like to offer, I don't have paid subscription as an option at this point, and
Yeah,
I, have a lot of questions around whether to do that, how it would change, how I look at it, and
yeah,
just the pressure even.
yeah.
But so yeah, maybe I'll just send you a direct message and kind of put in all the different things I'm kind of throwing around, and maybe
Hmm.
we can go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I would go to my DMs. My DMs get bombed. So go to my
Okay.
website and there's a contact form. I don't miss emails. I
Okay.
miss DMs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use the contact form on my actual website and I do Zoom chats too, like Zoom consultations. We can meet for 45 minutes and go through your stuff together while screen sharing. And I'm shocked that I don't have it already, but I'm going to be putting together an audit package where I can just audit your entire Substack for look, feel, what's missing, the whole nine. So, but we can definitely do that for sure. Send me an email.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah. Any more questions?
And just as a side note, I was just helping Jess as a friend. So
Oh, that's
just right. Just right.
okay.
Go with the flow, menstrual cycle awareness. And seriously, I get so excited when other people start women's health Substacks, and I want them to be as successful with their Substack.
Yeah,
That's why I started the collective because I wanted to feature and promote women's health. And there's no category for women's health. And it was Jess who
there
actually
should be.
pointed it out originally to me. And I'm like, well, what is there anything I can do about that? And that's how the collective was formed because we need a voice on Substack. And there's so many great articles on there, and it's getting buried by everything else that already has a category. And my job is
Yeah,
to uplift everyone who's writing about women's health. And if
good
that
for
means
you.
meeting with Jess and saying, hey, do you have an about page? I don't see one there, which really honestly helps me out because when I'm writing articles every week, I'm looking at your about page and pulling things from it to incorporate in the article as well as
Hmm.
sharing your article. So
Yeah.
having an about page is key.
Is everyone here aware? I find probably the most frequent topic of clients that I have is women's health, which is interesting. Do you know Lauren Stryker? Do you all know Lauren Stryker?
Yeah, she's a collective member.
Yeah, she's a client of mine and she is killing it. Because I work for her, I have admin access to her dashboard and she's like climbing 10 paid subscribers a week. She's got such a robust um catalog of content. Like I'm impressed by her. I don't know how she keeps it all together and does she even do this as a job? Is she a doctor and a Substacker?
Yeah, she's got high energy. She knows this stuff inside and out, what she writes
Yeah.
about. She's in the industry.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, she really is. And she's a superstar on Substack. She's the biggest, like, she's got the most subscribers of any client that I've ever worked with. She's killing it. And do you know Corrine Men?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I've done work for her too. I did her whole launch. So yeah, there's a lot of women's health on Substack, and I really think that it says a lot about women and what we want to know and what we're willing to share, which is awesome. And I find too on Substack, the demographic, at least my client demographic, is 45 plus for sure. So there's a lot of women in this demo, really.
That's great. All
Yeah.
right, well, we've come to the end here. I will be sending out the recording by the end of the week, and you'll get an email for that. You'll have an email to Christy's website, her Substack. I'll include the link to the guest book if you haven't introduced yourself so that I know that you're out there. That's the only way I know that you're writing about Substacks because I don't have subscription notifications turned on. And I want to thank you so much for your time. And Christy, thank you so much. This is always learn something from you. So this was really exciting for me. Thank you.
I'm glad that I made it through because to be totally honest, I am totally under the weather. And you know, when you're getting sick and your head is really loopy and you just aren't focused on anything, that's how it is for me today. And I'm like, oh, I got to do something today. So if I looked if I was stuttering in any way, that's why.
We're women's health people. We get it. We get
Okay, perfect.
it. Thank
Deja
you,
vu.
everyone. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Shelby. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.